should now be live. Good evening, everybody. I'm just gonna check that everything's working on OBS. Would appear to be. Hello, everyone. Sorry. Hello, Sarcastic Paleontologist. Joshua Cairo is here. I'm going to assume more people are going to drop in the next few minutes. How have your 2025s been so far today? Or this year, I suppose. Just going to have some tea. Tiring. Yes, I know the feeling. You're doing well, Joshua. It was your birthday last week. Well, happy birthday. And you're welcome, Dane. So far, it's good. You're starting to work on my ranking for JWE2 species. Yes, that is one of the videos I want to get done in the next couple of months, is like my total species ranking video, because obviously we've split them into like tiers, but I haven't done like a numerical list yet, so I will probably do that for one of my videos in this period. And you turned 21, Joshua. Well, welcome to 21. So it seems like a very long time ago for me. But yes, on with the park. So today we're going to be focusing solely on the greenhouse area of the park again, and I have done a lot of work off stream to get things going. Sorry, I am still recovering from a chest infection as well. So I completed this enclosure, which we'll be putting Anthracosaurus in a minute. I thought I did a quite nice job. They've got a little shelter in this area here. They've got a little waterfall. I've given them a couple of mangroves. We've got a nice little sort of boat and Anubis shrine area, and they've got another waterfall with some lilies up here. And we've got a sort of rock archway, which is where our guests, if the camera will let me move up, thank you, which is where our guests will view them from. We've got some education boards here, so they'll be viewing them from here. Hello, TurboSoul. Then inside here we're going to have yet another. These are just roughly made. I do want to go in and do some more serious work on these, but we're going to be making use of Evo's wonderful Japanese bridges in this particular greenhouse. And then out here we're going to have 3 more enclosures. You can see 1, 2, and 3, and then that will lead. We've got a nice little T-Rex fountain arrangement in here, and that will lead into the last greenhouse, which will come back out and reconnect the path down there. So basically that is the whole sort of greenhouse area planned, and we're just gonna, you know, fill it with animals and stuff. And the first thing we're gonna do is put those Anthracosaurus in here. So I'm gonna save this. And then we are going to head to main menu and grab some skins. Hello, TurboSoul. Does anyone worry that life on our planet might contribute to people thinking saber-toothed cats hunted terror birds to extinction? Well, I think both prehistoric park and walking with beasts also were a little disingenuous with what they said about the whole terror bird and the saber-tooth cat issue. It's a bit like the whole humans made the mammoths extinct. Arguably, yes, we probably didn't help, but there were also other, like, larger things going on that were whole, part of it as well. Like with most things when it comes to the natural world, to sort of reduce it down to a singular argument is not really a very logical or a very good argument to have. What sort of coloration shall we go with the Anthracosaurus? Because obviously these are giant amphibians, but this is a desert, so it's not really like they're common. I want a colour that's going to stand out, so I'm thinking maybe we could use the mangroves as a little bit of inspiration. Go with a sort of nice, quite distinctive green. Or maybe we could go with a slightly darker green. I think I actually prefer that green. We'll go with that green and I think that orange for males. So males are Limpopo River and Rana. And females will try and find a colour that's like a lighter version of that. I think something like that, and we'll get rid of the Rana, and we'll just have it as a Calcarana instead. Great Sandy Desert. That makes sense, doesn't it? Let's head back to the park. Hello, Mackie. Yeah, it was a mixture of features that caused the mammoth's extinction. As is with many things. And actually, I think it's where personally, I think the environmentalists have gone wrong with trying to get people onto their side, because a lot of environmentalism, early environmentalism, basically said humans are responsible for climate change. And it's always humans' fault. And what environmentalists didn't say was the truth, which is, yes, the climate does change naturally and it goes through different makeups throughout time, and we can see this. The truth is, however, that humans have accelerated that process, so it's occurring at a much quicker rate than has ever occurred in history, and that's the problem. They didn't say that. They just said, humans damaging planet. And then, of course, the conservative thinking people turn around and go, well, when humans weren't around, this happened, so that's not the truth, is it? And so it's led to the conservative viewpoint being environmentalism is stupid, where it's not. It's just environmentalists didn't communicate the truth and tried to reduce it, boil everything down to a single argument. Oh yeah, the Ice Age megafauna would never have survived anyway. They adapted for a particular world that then disappeared, so they were inevitably going to go extinct. Right, let's go and get our Anthracosaurus. Sorry, but I didn't see those coloration suggestions until after I clicked back on, because of my notepad file was in the way. So I do apologise. But the next animal we put in, I'll let you guys completely pick all of the skins. Or at least a male and a female skin. Let's do, I think, 2 male Anthraco. And maybe 3 female Anthraco. Also, I might be a bit rusty, because obviously it's been a while since, you know, we've been streaming and stuff, because we took a break over Christmas. I hope... So, I hope some of you have noticed that I edited together a few shorts over the Christmas break, just to kind of see how they perform on the channel, and to see whether, you know, it's going to be worth my time actually making them regularly. I am curious as to how many people watching have seen them. No worries if you haven't. I'm just curious as to, like, who's actually seen them, or who even knew. Did you even know that there were shorts, you know? So I know YouTube can be especially annoying at telling you when stuff pops up. Are you kidding me? Look at all this space and we can't put one down. I didn't even know you'd made any shorts. Well, there you go, sarcastic paleontologist. This is why I'm asking the question now. Potentially a good time to check that, you know, the bell is rung and all the other usual stuff that YouTubers kind of beg for that I don't like doing. I really hate asking people to subscribe and stuff. My view is if I say something you want to hear, people will subscribe naturally. That's my motto. I hate asking. Excellent. Well, I think 5 animals suits this enclosure pretty well. The water is nice and deep enough for them. They've got plenty of shade here, thanks to the greenhouse there. They've got their little shaded area to go under that. I think this is actually quite a nicely made enclosure for an animal that is not really typically found in a desert. How does it look from the path? I mean, if you had binoculars, which I would imagine, you know, if I was making this in a game which, you know, thought about park design better than Frontier did, I would have binocular stands along here, definitely. You know, just so people can get a clearer look. But you can also definitely see stuff from here. Which is kind of the feel I wanted to go for this particular area. I wanted the animals to not feel like they're always being viewed. It's another reason why we've got sort of areas in these enclosures where they can kind of hide away. Just trying to think about the life of our animals. So, we've got Anthracosaurus, one of the two, whatever. Anthracosaurus in here. So the other enclosures, I don't have particular, you know, plans laid out. So really, it's whatever people think would be a good animal to go in. I see we're dropping frames again. Don't know why. So, any particular thoughts about sort of what other animals that we could put in to these enclosures? I don't mind changing the you know, how we're viewing them either, if we want to put like glass window sections in or whatever. Because I was thinking about putting a carnivore in here, maybe a raptor of some sort, so we could change this particular area to like a glass window instead. I think these fences are fine as long as the raptor is like not Utahraptor. I think probably Deinonychus would be fine. I'm willing to bend a little bit of realism in this park. So yeah, what did people think? Did we hear about the... Yes, I have heard about the Cetiosaurus and Megalosaurus footprints found this week in the UK. In fact, I was thinking about doing a video on it. Because it's a really interesting trackway. One of the biggest in the country as well. And it's an animal that... I think Cetiosaurus has disappeared from the collective consciousness of dinosaur fans. Like, I rarely ever hear Cetiosaurus be mentioned, ever. Pyro or Atrocity, I really don't like either. I think Deinonychus fit in here because I think Deinonychus gets ignored way too often. I think in here this has all the hallmarks for like a little herbivore of some description. Maybe Hamalocephaly, a few others like that. And I'm thinking in here, since it is like a drop down a level, we could have a bigger herbivores in here easily. So yeah, I'm gonna start with this little enclosure. I want to do some of the building work around it first, just so it's all nice and ready to go for whatever we choose to put in here. Why are we getting frame rate drops still? I don't get it. Gonna have to try to get to the bottom of these because it's very annoying. Hello, Wandering Rambler. Nodosaurus. Yeah, we could definitely put a Nodo in here somewhere. Is Amargasaurus an option? Amargasaurus is already in the park. I think Amargasaurus has been like the dinosaur I've used the most often in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Every other park of mine, I think I put it in. I'm thinking, because I want every animal to have like shelters, I'm thinking about having the shelters over here. I don't want to constantly use the same like shelter idea. Sorry. But it's such a good like shelter building. So I just think I'm going to keep using it. No, it's not... It's annoying, but I'm going to keep using it because it does work really well. I don't want it too low to the ground in case we decide to put anything in here that's fairly sizable. I think that's acceptable. JWE3 should definitely consider adding more options for dinosaur enrichment. Doesn't necessarily have to be shelters, although I would like to see shelters. But definitely things about dinosaur enrichment and making sure dinosaurs are actually having good lives. Especially, I kind of feel it's a prerequisite of having baby dinosaurs is to also consider dinosaur enrichment. Because to me, there's absolutely no point putting dinosaurs in baby dinosaurs into the game if you're not thinking about like enriching the lives of the animals as well. Like nesting behaviors and stuff are kind of require like you to be really decent with enrichment, so I kind of feel like they should go hand in hand. That's just my thought though. All I want is swimming dinosaurs, enrichment, better modules in JW3, and for the game to not be on PS4 and Xbox One. Well, it won't be on X-Gen, you know. And any console gamer that's pissed off about that, I'm sorry, but eventually your game's hardware, you know, this is the price you pay for having a games console. Eventually, you have to upgrade it. You know, you're not going to pay and have the patience to have a PC, well, then you're just going to have to accept the fact that your games console will stop being supported. That is the price you pay. But I can guarantee there will be, when they do eventually announce Jurassic World Evolution 3, and when they inevitably announce it won't be on last-gen consoles, there will be backlash. From a bunch of children complaining. Just the way it'll go. Hello, Smoke. Yeah, I mean, Jurassic World Evolution 2 was already limited by the X consoles. What I don't understand is why Frontier couldn't have a version for PC and stuff that was not so badly affected by all the limitations. A lot of the time it did feel like all the PC players and next-gen players were being persistently screwed over by a game that's terribly optimized and works just generally really badly. And it's a lot of people do put that down to the fact that it was having to try to be forced to run on hardware that just can't manage it. It's possible, but at the same time, I think there are probably other reasons. I don't think it's the past gen console's fault. Hello, Melissa. I tell you what, I am still very, very on the fence about them adding baby dinosaurs. I was reading through a couple of Reddit conversations about the subject and about like what Frontier can legitimately do to make Jurassic World Evolution 3 worth buying. And I'll be honest, I still don't necessarily agree with a lot of the people who think adding baby dinosaurs would be a massive improvement. I think people are going to baby dinosaurs because it's like the easiest option. But personally, I think there's so many other things that I would probably put before baby dinosaurs. Like, if I was to make a list of 10 things I would want Jurassic World Evolution 3 to do, baby dinosaurs is probably like 10. Like, there are so many other more important aspects for me personally. And I think it I think it comes back down to something that I've seen in while I've been making a particular video. Actually, let me talk about that first. So I'm in the middle of a really big video project. I'm big in the word of like it's going to be a really long video. Which is probably going to take me the best part of like two months, maybe 3 months to like complete. So while I'm in the process of making that video, videos on the channel are probably going to be a little bit kind of more simple and a little bit like shorter form stuff. Simply so I don't get burned out with the editing. Because this particular big project I have going on is taking a lot of editing. I can tell you already, it is the end of life review for Jurassic World Evolution 2. It's what I did for Jurassic World Evolution 1. It's the enormous, full retrospective review, going into as much detail as possible and, just coming up to a final conclusion. But it's, instead of doing it as, like, multiple parts, which is what I did for the first video, Evo suggested I put it all in one go and release it as a long-form video essay, because apparently they're doing better on YouTube at the moment. So, yeah, that's taking the first, like, I've already completed the first part, but there are 8-9 parts to this video, and obviously some of the parts are going to be much longer than others, so, yeah. I'm going to try to get it done as quickly as I can, but it's still going to take time. So yes, that's the big video project I'm working on. I feel like I want a tree down here, just for some extra vegetation. You had a feeling it was that. Well, yeah, because it is kind of like the last big thing to do for the game. And then after that, you know, there won't be any more reviews or anything like that. It will just be the game is done and dusted now. I've had my final say. Let's look forward to the next game. So it's like the final nail in the coffin, as it were. But like I said, thinking about what got me onto this subject in the first place. So the reason what was I talking about? I was talking about people wanting baby dinosaurs and me being on the fence. That was it. So something I saw when I was doing the first part of that review video is I was looking at the reviews that were written on JW2's release by like the big journalism people. And there was a quote there that really stood out, and it was along the lines of that Jurassic World Evolution 2 hasn't been made to appeal to people that like management games. It's been made to appeal to an audience of general dinosaur fans. And I think that is where the sort of push for baby dinosaurs is coming from. Because I think if you look at Jurassic World Evolution 2 from the position of I'm just a general dinosaur fan and all I care about are animals, then I think having baby dinosaurs is a very obvious next step, as opposed to those of us who like management games, where for us the obvious next step is, can we have some actual fucking management in this game, please? So I think your position on baby dinosaurs is also kind of dependent on, you know, if you're an actual person who plays management sim titles. And if you don't, I think you're far more positive about baby dinosaurs coming than those of us who do. Right, a little bit of... Oh, let me guess. So this is going to be the Thanatos Dracos again. Yep. These guys have been getting stuck all of the time. This is about the 5th time I've had to free a Thanatos Dracon. And it's not because I use mods or any of that other bullshit. It's because they never fix the pterosaur problem. Because it happens regardless of species, regardless of aviary. It's because Frontier never fixed the problem. And trust me, the aviaries will get a very stern look in my review video, as will the lagoons, as will all of the new features that they added to this game. I don't want to go too heavy on the plant life. I just want there to be, you know, a nice little mix here and there. Maybe a few... No, I don't want one of those. Can we get rid of that, please? Yeah. I just want, like, a couple of... No. I want, like, just a low fern or two. Seriously, Frontier, you could have solved this situation by giving us these ferns for us to put down. Well, you've got a couple. That'll do, I suppose. I think that's pretty decent. Now, do we think this height of fence is acceptable for you know, stuff like homalocephaly and that? Because it doesn't have to be... I'm just concerned it might be a little low. Medium place. So if I put a medium in there, mediums you can look over. It's a little bit too much though, isn't it? I think we'll bend the realism ever so slightly. We'll stick to the short. And we'll go get some Hamalacephali. It looks like a Dimetrodon. We should probably have Dimetrodon in here somewhere. But I'm thinking I might do a proper enclosure for them. You had a Dunkleosteus glitch out and get stuck. The first time I built a sandbox park on this game, I had a Liplorodon phase totally through the lagoon and get stuck in the terrain. All you could see was his head popping out of it. Funniest shit I've ever screenshotted. Smaug says he's not a management guy. I like making detailed pretty parks, not having to resupply all of the amenities. See, I fully understand where you're coming from with that. My problem is that I think Jurassic World Evolution 2 went too far towards pleasing the sandbox players, leaving the management players behind. You can do both. You can have a compelling sandbox and good management. City Skylines demonstrated that was very easily possible. You just have to put the effort into ensuring that both aspects are well treated. We are going with Hamalacephali, which I don't often use in my builds. No realism, just vibes. Yes, Berenson. Archelon, my poor Archelons in my SeaWorld park, they kept getting stuck in place and almost starved themselves to death. Yep, I've had a few of my Nothosaurs get stuck in this park build. It's when they cannot connect to the ramps on the rock to climb out of the water. They get stuck in their animation loops. What sort of coloration? Oh, right, you guys are picking the colours. So we'll get rid of pattern for now. Pick a colours. Pick some colours. This is for the males. I like using a dark blue one. So what have we got? Probably Yukon River. Sheriff says Gambia River Basin. I do like that one. That is very, very bright. Reminds me of some of the lizard varieties you get in the Sonoran Desert and other areas like that. I do like the Yukon River, though. I think we'll go with Yukon River, just because I like the different coloration on the head to the body. Gambia, it's basically all the same color. I think Yukon River is a little bit more detailed for me. Plus, it reminds me of the Jurassic Park Operation Genesis Hamalacephali. Oh, Kairu got there just so we're saying. Yes. Okay, so males then. What sort of colours? The pattern kind of is a bit weird on these guys. Honestly, I think all these patterns are kind of ugly on this particular color. Especially that one. Honestly, I think they look best like that. Yeah, Yukon and Rana. Okay. So males are Yukon River and Rana. Females, now. We need something that's going to work with that. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be the white. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go with the white. Or we could just leave females without coloration. But I don't really like doing that. I feel it's a bit of a cheat. That's quite close. Great Sandy Desert. What if we put the pattern on there? I think that works for a female skin. Is that one that's like not as... You know, that could work as well. What do people think for the Hamalacephaly? Do we think Rana as a pattern? Or do we think we'll go with Paul Rana, which is a bit more subtle? I'm waiting for chat. Killian Kalkarana. Well, it's a nice skin, but it's not really a female version of the male skin. I mean, Killian and Rana also works, but I think I prefer the slightly darker tone of Great Sandy Desert. We'll go with Great Sandy Desert and Rana. Hello, King Giga. Nice to see you. Now, I think we should have the Hamalacephaly in there on their own. And we'll just go with quite a large population. Like, we'll go with quite a large herd. I don't like the word herd for pachycephalosaurs. I feel like they need a new collective noun. A ruckus of pachycephalosaurs? A ruckus of pachycephalosaurs. I like that, actually. A flock is too bird-like. I mean, a flock works for, say, Struthiomimus or Gallimimus, but pachycephalosaurs with all their head-butting, that's not like bird behavior to me. So something like a ruckus or like a... Trying to think of something else. A hooligan, a mob of pachyceph... I like that, Kairu. We'll go with a mob. A mob of pachycephalosaurs. I do like the fact that in the course of this YouTube channel's existence, we have come up with quite a few good collective names for things, like a parliament of T-Rex and a mob of pachycephalosaurs. Maybe I should do like a video on it. Try to come up with, or maybe make it a channel competition. Like give me some collective nouns for a group of dinosaurs. Because, yeah, I reckon a good-sized mob, maybe like 10 in here, will fill it out quite nicely. There'll be a nuisance to place, but I think it'll work quite nicely. How many male and females? I think we'll go with like three males, and actually I'm going to do something a little different. Okay, so here's our male, Yukon River and Rana. We're going to have one of him. We're then going to have two more males that are sexually immature. So they're younger males than the older one. And then we're going to do Great Sandy Desert with Rana. These will be our females. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A squabble of packing. Actually, I think squabble works better with something like the Coelophysis, perhaps, or the Oviraptors, because their socials are quite squabbly. A posse of Utahraptor. I think that works. A business of Yehalopterus. How does a murder of Utahraptors? Oh, a murder of Utahraptors is probably very fitting. I mean, I think a murder of raptor of any species would work quite nicely. What about sauropods? What would you use for a collective? Because they're very large, very slow. A cathedral of sauropods? I think that works. We're just making up so many fam terms. An empire of sauropods. That's quite good. What about so obviously for sea creatures you've got like a pod of ichthyosaurs, which I think works perfectly well. But what about, say, you know, the big plesiosaurs like Chrono and Liporodon? A Parthenon or Pantheon of sauropods, Smaug. That would also work. A shock of Gigantoraptors. A playoff of shock of Cassowary. Yeah, I mean, you could also do a shock of Oviraptor in that case. A splash of Dunks. This sounds so completely antithetical to the huge size and terror of Dunkleosteus. A splish splash of Dunkleosteus. A heist of Oviraptors because they're egg stealers. Ah, well, you see, that's no longer appropriate, Smaug. Oviraptor... The whole egg feedery thing has been very much overblown, unfortunately. I suppose we don't have any signs anymore. For this... Doesn't look like it. So let's... I would quite like there to be some signage here, because I feel like this is a bit sort of empty. And what else could we put, like, here? Maybe a few benches? Oh, okay. How about... We need, like, we need a little seating area here, I think. So, let's, like, grab one of those. Put it kind of... there. Let's grab some palm trees. Okay, yeah, that's nice. And, you know, as Evo is fond of saying, you know, we'll use our imagination here. Why don't they have a... What is... It really bugs me that they didn't include signage for every dinosaur. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab one of these. And we're gonna sink it into the ground a bit. And we're gonna tilt it towards... Just having a look so I can see how the tilt is. That's fine. We're gonna stick this kind of like here and say that it's like a mock sort of education board for the Homalocephali. You know, we've got to use a bit of imagination. An air force of Quetzalcoatluses, a hive of Dimorphodon, a mafia of Albertosaurus, a chaos of Trooodon. There are some really, really good ones in here, folks. It might definitely have to be a video I do in the future. I need an easy video. This is coming up on an easy video. Look at them all, aren't they adorable? So yeah, we have our sexually mature females, our sexually immature males, and one sexually mature male somewhere. Where's our sexually mature male? There's our sexually mature male. I think it's nice to try to add a little bit of interest with the sexual maturity system. It's okay having male and female like bodies, but adding some differentials in terms of age, I think also, you know, can be a good thing to improve the build. And yeah, 10 animals I think is perfectly acceptable for something this big. And yeah, I actually think this is perfectly height for them. So yeah, I'm happy with how that's turned out, actually, overall. A bouquet of Drysaurus. Interesting one. Right, so we've pretty much decided we were going to have a carnivore in here. So I'm going to replace this aspect with glass windows. 1, 2, 3, I think will fit in there perfectly. And we will put Deinonychus in here, because I think Deinonychus is one of those raptors that gets unfairly treated by the player base. I personally, you know, if I was doing my listing of preferred raptors, which I might do, I might also do a few videos like ranking just members of the same family group, like ranking the raptors, ranking the sauropods. Deinonychus wouldn't be on the bottom. Probably Atrociraptor would be on the bottom for me, just because I just really hate them. Okay, this one needs to be turned a little bit more. So we don't really have anywhere to act as like seating for these guys, so I'm wondering. No, actually, I'm okay with them not having like anywhere to sit to have a look at them. I think that's fine. I think the log walls, I think just about acceptable in terms of believability. I have seen that there's been an update, but I don't. Prehistoric Kingdom for me is such a tough game. I really don't know what to make of it. I love so many aspects of it. I just wish it ran better. I can't enjoy it because it at the moment it's so badly optimized, and I just wish that they'd sort that out a little bit so we could actually enjoy playing it. Because it runs like bollocks on my rig, and it really shouldn't do. I want this Deinonychus enclosure. I had to think about what I was actually building there. To actually be quite like tree heavy, or at least like to have more trees than some of the other enclosures around. Especially over here. Yeah, the pathing tool in pretty much all of games like that, even Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, the pathing tool is inevitably always a fussy mother to get to work. Okay, I think we need a couple more rocks here. Well, I pronounce Deinonychus that way because that's the way that, you know, when I was a kid, the dinosaur magazines said it was pronounced. They always separated it to Deinonychus. It's only recently, well, I say recently, but it's only since I've, you know, the 2000s where I've been hearing it being pronounced as Deinonychus. And I don't know. I prefer Deinonychus than Deinonychus. It's just personal preference with that one. Quite like the idea of them having like a pretend sort of rocky sort of ledge that they would sit on, like many a raptor player do in the Isle. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to, you know, on rotating and stuff, but kind of like that. Just to kind of infer that they can climb up there. Hello, the monster. And we are doing pretty good for the most part. How are you? Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't put it past Prehistoric Kingdom to have that sort of skin customization, Cairo. There is something that makes me a little bit nervous with, you know, all the Prehistoric Kingdom news that we get. And it's because it reminds me of another game, which has become rather infamous, and that is a game called Star Citizen. And Star Citizen has basically been in development hell for years. Because, you know, the people making the game keep dreaming up new and wonderful features for it to have, as opposed to just actually making the game that people wanted it to have in the first place. What happened there? Why does that drop off the edge of the planet there? That was weird. Is Mazoica the one whose dev team was embroiled in that scandal about someone being accused of, shall we say, a very heinous crime involving children? I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised. A little bit concerning there. Okay, I think this is looking a lot better than it was. And I think instead of like an actual proper like area to sleep, I think what I want to do is try and like give them just a mock sort of tree area to sleep under, like shrink that down quite far and just have this as a nice shaded area for them to sleep under. Doesn't really work though. I feel bad if we don't give them something to sleep under as well. So I'm just going to go with the standard affair. Ooh. Kaidanik's invisible fence really doesn't like you going near it. That is what I'm learning here. Fine, Kyodenics fence. I'll put you in manually. Lesson learned. If you want to put invisible fencing in, do it after you do all of the rest of the decoration. I think on that side we're going to have to just stick to bushes, I think. I am keeping an eye on chat, don't worry. I'm just observing your conversations about Mazoica at the moment. It's still on sale. That surprises me, if it is the game I remember hearing about many a year ago. I think that's okay. I don't think we necessarily need to stick something above that. I think maybe we might need to... Oh. Maybe put a couple of reeds in. And I feel like, okay, maybe not. Maybe just some normal vegetation. Right. The main developer, Maxwood, is, let's say, an interesting fellow. Oh dear. I've known many a, let's say, interesting fellow. They're never interesting. Usually all awful. Okay, and now I think we can also put in our carnivore feeder, which we are going to put in the middle where people can see it. I think that's okay as an enclosure for a Deinonychus. Right. Shall we go get some skins? Yes, let's not have lots of roleplay in the chat. It is a bit weird. We do still have the Dinosaur King variant. I'm not a massive fan of it, but we could use it. We'll have a look. Austroraptor, Dylong, and Microraptor should have been in Evolution 2 because their narrative voice files have been found. Interesting. Like I've said before, and like I will probably repeat in my retrospective review, I don't think that the Biosyn and Malta DLCs were ever supposed to be DLCs. I personally think that when the film was delayed and when COVID happened, which delayed the game and the film, I think that the Dominion content, which was going to be part of this game on release, was cut out and sold back to us. Because the campaign missions feel exactly like tutorial missions, and they even proceed like tutorial missions. Like, if you look at the original base game campaign, each level introduces new gameplay mechanics which it teaches you to use, which will be necessary to understand the other aspects of the game. Okay, so obviously, we can go with the Basilisk Frill variant. We have the Pompadour variant for the males, or non-Pompadour for the females. I personally not a big fan of the Pompadour crest, male or female wise, so I'm perfectly happy to use this as male and female. There are some nice skins, there are some ugly skins. It's kind of a mix with these guys. Or we could go with the classic and go with the Basilisk Frill. I honestly don't mind the Basilisk Frill, to be honest. What is that chest shape? Oh, the crest shape, did you mean, Brenson? Yeah, the Pompadour crest is a unique touch, that's for sure. You like the Tadpole One-Chuff Frog. Well then, we'll go with Tadpole. We'll go with the classic, because I honestly think Deinonychus gets a bit of a bad rap. Right, what coloration shall we go? I don't mind going with something quite colourful for these guys. I mean, I am a big fan of the deep red. I think it looks good with some color patterns. Doesn't look good with every. I mean, I quite like that. What does CDCR mean? I know, I think that was the person that they were talking about. It doesn't, I don't think it stands for something. I think it's just the name that he's picked. You know, I kind of like that. It's a bit classic, but I do kind of like that. I mean, the Deinonychus that I remember as a kid was basically... Is there an orange? No, it was basically... pretty much that. It was like a deep orange body with like black spots all over. But yeah, I think for this guy, maybe we could just go with something as simple. I don't know. Maybe we should just go for black. Let's go for trichlor colours. Let's give the male Yukon River and whoops, Yukon River and Pelophylax. And the females will just nudge the colour down from black to grey and change the pattern. So Great Sandy Desert and Paul Crow. I do understand why the basilisk frill is so controversial amongst the fan base and the player base of this game. It is a very unusual look for it. But I think Frontier were slightly limited as to what they could really do. Like, Jurassic Park's Velociraptor is Deinonychus. So the only way to make Deinonychus stand out from Velociraptor is to give it something that Velociraptor doesn't have. Basilisk crests and a tadpole tail may have been going too far. Yeah, this was also before they had the feather shader, so they couldn't just give it feathers. I do think they should have potentially considered adding like a redesign once they had feathers. Because I think a lot of people would have been good with that. Now, because these are raptors, and because they are very dangerous, we're going to go with a very small number of these guys. 1 male, 2 female. You're fucking having a laugh. Frontier, you've really got to sort this out in the next game. There's no reason for you to deny me placing one down when there's so much open space here. Ugh. Well, while we are waiting, I'm just going to jot down in my planning notepad. Yeah, that's right, I have a planning notepad now. Just a couple of these video ideas that we've gone through today, or have been mentioned today. Because otherwise I will forget them, and then I'll be like, what fucking videos do I make? And, you know, I will have lost them. So, I'm just going to put them on the standard stream. So we had collective pronouns, didn't we? Collective pronoun video. I think that was the only one, wasn't it? I'm sure there was another video idea. I may have to watch the stream back at some point. But yes, I've been trying to get better with planning this year. It's my sort of YouTube New Year's resolution to plan things out a little better, to keep on top of things, track things. There we go. Now, little Deinonychus. How many do you actually... I'm curious what their loneliness thing is. Oh, it looks like there is 3. They're only halfway on the open space, though. Oh well. Right, and then this enclosure is going to be... I think someone's already said that this should be for Nodosaurus. Which I am totally for, because again, Nodosaurus is one of those dinosaurs that I think gets unfairly ignored. We are definitely going to need somewhere for these boys to rest. I think right up against here makes good sense. And I'm just going to, like... I try and give him, like, 2. And make it a little bit bigger. Oh, there's been another leak for Rebirth. I'm personally not believing a word about Rebirth until we actually get some actual, like, trailer. We need to move it just forward a bit. And this one just forward a bit. And we just can cover that back up with a couple of logs, I think. Yeah, unless we get an actual trailer that isn't AI generated slop, there is absolutely no point even hypothesizing. I think Universal have demonstrated with Dominion and stuff that they're completely unpredictable with like what something is actually going to be about. Like I can pretty much guarantee that in the run up to Dominion, absolutely none of us thought, oh, the movie's going to be about giant bugs. I'm pretty sure no one thought that. Not until, you know, the trailers were revealed and stuff. I still can't get over how Swerve hyper responded to Dominion. Like it was the best thing in the world. I still cannot believe that. Do you think Swerve actually meant what he said about him thinking that Dominion was actually really good and going to see it like 12 times and everything else? Do you think he actually meant all that, or do you think he was just doing it for like kids' views and universal butt licking? I still don't know either way what was actually his thoughts. Absolutely not. I think he lied. Swerve wants to be Universal poster boy. Yeah, maybe. But I honestly, like, given other people's responses to it, a part of me also thinks he just legitimately thinks it's a good film. And you know, what one people finds good as a movie is, I accept, purely subjective. I do think there are some objectively awful things, though, about that film. And the fact he just silences any debate about it. Defo a bit of a fanboy. Each to their own. Yeah, you know, no one is in the wrong for liking it. I think it gets to be in the wrong when people become a bit, like, aggressive about it. It's like, oh, if you don't like it, it's because you're not a true fan, or you're just hating on it because women characters, or some other rubbish. Or, you know, the really good one, which is, oh, you don't understand Michael Crichton's messaging. Right? He's dead, so I don't think we can really comment on what his opinion of the film would be, you know. Yeah, yeah. Hot takes as hot as the sun. That's a polite way of putting it, Princeton, definitely. Okay. Now we can put the invisible wall in. I only really want it there, because the rest of it's fine. Let's put in our terrain texture. That's the wrong terrain texture. That is also the wrong terrain texture. There we go. There's the right one. Ground fiber. Pretty sure they don't eat ground fiber. Pretty sure noddos eat ground leaf. Actually, these guys eat ground fiber and ground leaf. Okay. I'm going to make sure then that Noddosaurus has some of each, just to make sure of it. Right. Let's go get our little Noddosauruses. I think we could probably only have 2 in here. I don't think any more than that would be fair. So 1 male and 1 female. Stream health is fine. That's good. Oh, we're almost towards the end. Blimey, this has gone quick today. Next week's video is all ready to go, by the way. Next Wednesday, it's a video looking at Evo's Japanese decorations mod. I'm reviewing her mod. I had a couple of nitpicks, but apart from that, I thought it was a really good one. Definitely should get it if you got this game on PC. And like I say, we're obviously, now that holidays are over and done with, we're going to be back on standard, like, stream stuff. So Wednesday will be Fallout stream, Friday will be a my stream or a me and Dane stream, and then Sunday will be, you know, a me stream or me and Fallout stream or all of us stream, you know. And there'll obviously be videos in the week. As for whether I intend to do more shorts, I don't know whether I will or not. Because the shorts I've released at the moment, they've been... like... they've been alright in terms of their response, but I don't think it's like... It takes about 8 hours to edit a short, and that's a long period of time. And so far the shorts have gotten about 500 views and haven't really helped lead to many subscribers, so I don't think I'm going to do like shorts all of the time. I think I'm going to only put out a short when like something happens that I think is short worthy in a stream or something like that. Or to advertise like a big video I want to do well on. I do like that one actually. Oh yeah, we're at what, 669? No, 22690. I think we're at. Okay, male will go Svalbard and Papurana, and females will make much lighter Killian Mountains and Papurana. Yeah, the aim this year is hopefully to try to get us to at least 3,000, if not 5. I'm really hoping that the release of Jurassic World Rebirth and hopefully Jurassic World Evolution 3 will really help the channel. I'll be honest, Jurassic World Evolution 2 didn't. But I'm going to be a lot better with making content on stuff next time round. Okie dokie, synthesized dinosaur. Nodosaurus. And this needs to be Svalbard and Papurana. I love the fact that this shows a dinosaur that is black with purple pattern. And actually what realistically happens is it comes out with orange pattern. Can someone explain what in the fresh hell is the point of that? Like, what is the point of giving us those preview boxes if it never matches what is shown? Your Displetosaurus fell off a cliff. Oh dear. Displetosaurus? More like Displatosaurus. That's terrible. I apologize, that was awful. You know, I think this little area has worked really well. See, now this bit here, I would love to have something in here that's a little bit more proper. Maybe because I think the Jurassic Park Operation Genesis mod comes with decorative versions of the buildings. So what if we put like a little rest area here? How far in do we go with it? Maybe put it there? Okay. What did we do for grey? Okay, we need the grey path. So we'll go out from there to there. Then we'll put that low... Where's that low log wall again? That's the low wall. I want the low log wall. Bushy head, short log wall. That to there. And then if we just kind of carefully like pavemented in this area. And then maybe just give it like a back place where we could just have some other seating and stuff. Okay, is it me or can I hear Dilophosaurus? The Deinonychus make dino noises. I've never known that before. Oh man, I need to write that down. Hang on. I need to write that down as for the Jurassic World review video. I'll just put it here. Stream, which is a stream on the 25th of the 1st. So we saw Taro get stuck. Nodo colors make no sense. And Deinonychus used dino noise. That's just... It's been that way since Jurassic World Evolution 1, has it? I never noticed before. Well, whether or not it was that way from Jurassic World Evolution 1, it's still shockingly lazy. You know, I think that is even worse when you think about the fact that they could have, in all this time, given those dilos their own, given the dino their own noise files, surely. In all this time. It's just laziness. It's just sheer bloody laziness. Yeah, like the raptor using the velociraptor sounds. I really don't like that. I know that Evo doesn't mind it, but to me, I think that's really cheap, especially considering it's a DLC animal, so you would expect them to put the effort in. But no, they just copy-pasted sound files from one to the other. Sorry, that's not good enough in my books. It's not difficult to come up with, like, new sound effects for these animals. Like, I have a program that I subscribe to on my PC called Soundly, and it's basically just a massive database of noises and sound effects and stuff. Like, all the sound effects you hear in my normal videos, like the whoosh and the pings and the pops and all of the other sound effects come from Soundly. And there's so many dinosaur sound effects on there. Like, it would be dead easy just to replace, you know, just to grab one that sounds remotely raptorish. Or grab a few. Yeah, in case you haven't guessed, my opinions about Jurassic World Evolution 2 are not going to be good in the review. Don't get me wrong, I am going to point out, like, the positives when the game deserves them, for sure. I'm not just going to rail on it for hours and hours and hours. But there is a lot of stuff I want to talk about and be critical about. So just take that under advisement when that video does eventually come out, that it's not going to be like all praise and stuff. There is going to be a lot of criticism. And stupid stuff like Deinonychus using raptor sound effect, using Dilo sound effects. Yep, that's definitely going in there. Maybe they thought they could get away with it because they saw how few people actually use Deinonychus. They were like, nah, no one's gonna notice. Like, no one likes Deinonychus. They hate it because we put that basilisk frill on it. So we can get away with cheaping out on the sound design. Really want to add some color into here because it's so green. My Daspletosaurus has been killed by a group of Megalanias, lanterns, and a Utah. What's lanterns? Hang on. I don't know any dinosaur that starts with a lantern. Lantenni venetric. I have never heard of that dinosaur. A troodontid. I shall have to go and have a look at that one. Okay, I actually want to kind of get this area like finished before I stop the stream. Or at least, you know, get it basic stuff in here. Yeah, and then we'll have like some seating in the back, maybe a fountain, because this is a bit empty, devoid of stuff, so we put a fountain or something in here. I think that works as like a little seating area in the middle of this place, and then obviously this will be like over here. We'll be hanging about there-ish. Yeah. I think that looks pretty good there with the rest area, and it's got a raptor in there as well, so it makes sense for our Deinonychus. Yeah, I think this has turned out pretty good. Wandering Rambler and Kairu, I totally agree with both of your points, and you'll have to. You will have to check out my review when it is actually done. I've just remembered there of what the other video was that I wanted to possibly make, so I'm just going to write it down while I remember it. Yeah, it was a nice chill stream, back to formula, as it were. Like I say, next week there'll be the standard 3 streams. There'll be the standard video, and and like I said, just accept that for, you know, a few months, the videos are probably going to be short, probably simply edited, just because I'm going to be making this super massive video. So, you know, I'm not a master editor like Evo. I can only I can only do what I can. But yeah, I'll see you folks next week on Wednesday to join Fallout's normal stream. I hope to see plenty of you there for Fallout stream. I don't know what we're going to be playing yet, or if we're going to be playing anything together. Maybe we'll do some SnowRunner together. Actually, maybe, we'll see. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, all the normal YouTube stuff, and yeah, wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Stay safe, and good night.